Looks to me like Musk thinks he can do whatever he likes.
He does, and it seems as though
he can.
Yes, well, maybe not without getting penalized for it. He also seems to defy common sense here in some of the basic fundamental understanding about how corporate governance works, how CEOs are supposed to
He doesn't care.
behave. No, he
doesn't.
doesn't.
He doesn't care.
And
now, he's reached a settlement with the SEC, right?
Right.
Does that mean he can say anything he likes about the SEC? Because that's what he's doing.
No, absolutely not.
No.
And it shows that he's not following through with the settlement and saying that he's going to just tweet whatever, see if anybody notices what he did was wrong, and then come after him. I mean, that's a recidivist. That's a repeat offender. He's just showing that he has complete contempt for the SEC, for the rule of law. I think it's going to come back to bite him because...
So what could happen to him?
Well, he's violating the settlement agreement already.
So?
And so, so the SEC could throw it out if they wanted to. I mean, I don't think that that's going to happen at this point. But if he continues down the line that he's on, this, along with the criminal investigations that are still undergoing, I mean, this is just going to lead to further penalties. He said $20 million. He's fine with stockholders having to pay $20 million fines so that he can tweet random things that defy common sense on the internet.
You're exasperated with the guy. You're absolutely exasperated.
I am exasperated. I am just really, truly shocked that a CEO of a public company would behave in this manner. And after everything that we've seen and everything that he's been through, he still is not stopping.
Well, may I point out that after all he's done and everything the company has been through, the stock is still well above $300 a share. That's why he thinks he can do whatever he likes.
That may well be the case, but, you know, when you have criminal and civil regulators coming in and the authorities coming in, and we'll see what happens with any kind of criminal investigation that happens. But, you know, I'm sure that there is going to be some other penalties that he's going to have, and they're just going to be more severe because this is going to get thrown back in his face. So this is how you behave.
I'm just trying to follow this forward here. You have experience of this kind of thing.
Yes.
And you're essentially saying that, look, he really is out of control, and he will pay a price for it some way down the road.
I'm sure of it.
You're sure of it?
I am sure of it.
If he doesn't say another word, there's not a single another tweet, will he be okay? If you were the lawyer, if you were the lawyer pressing him, if you were with the SEC right now, you're with Harvey Pitt, you're pressing him hard,
right,
would he get away with it?
I think he would have to make a statement to show that he actually finally gets it, that what he's doing is not okay, and show that he has some fundamental understanding for the way corporate governance works.
He has no respect for corporate governance.
No, he doesn't. I don't think he understands it or knows anything about it. And so I think he needs to learn this.
Are you going to teach him? How are you going to teach him?
I've been trying. I've been here on the show with you talking to you. I've been trying to explain it, but...
I don't know whether he watches the show. The president may on occasion, but I'm not sure about Elon Musk. But you've been giving him advice, and he's never taken it.
No, he hasn't. He hasn't. But
I'm astonished.
I wish he would.
Okay, Teresa, come back again. Give him some more advice if he steps off the rails again, okay?
Thank you so much.
No, thanks for being here. We do appreciate it. Thanks very much.
Building this train in California is very strange. We're kind of bringing 1960s train technology, Japanese train technology, to California in 2030, 2040. You're going to have autonomous cars, autonomous vans that will take you from your home in San Francisco and drop you off to wherever you want to go at the time you want to be there in Los Angeles for, I don't know, $25, $50, something like that. The problem with trains, Elon Musk said it very well, trains leave when you don't want to leave, from a place you don't want to leave from, and take you to a place you don't want to go to at a time you don't want to get there. And then you have to get into a car and then go wherever you're going. It is a crazy system. It is, I guess, the people who love it say, well, this is going to get people out of their cars. It's not true. People are going to be in electric cars that autonomously take them from San Francisco to LA at a tiny fraction of the cost, leave when they want to leave, arrive when they want to arrive, leave from where they want to leave from, arrive when they want to get there. This technology will make that train one of the great embarrassments in the history of governance of California.
Have you told Elon Musk this?
I'm told Elon Musk, I'm quoting Elon Musk, he thinks the train's ludicrous. I've had this conversation with Governor Brown. I've had this conversation with President Clinton. But I think the train is a powerful symbol, and not a car. Just get out of the cars. It's not get out of the cars. Make the cars electric. You don't have to get out of cars. I understand you don't want gas cars. Get rid of the gas cars. But don't get out of cars by thinking people are going to go into a train that goes from San Francisco to Sacramento, down the Central Valley. The cost of building the train is astronomical. The environmental damage of building the train is astronomical. You're so much better just by using environmentally friendly electric vans, autonomously driven, to take you from San Francisco to LA. If that's what you want to do, that's the way to do it. It's not through this 1960s Japanese bullet train technology.
So you see a revolution happening in driving, in the car?
In transportation. Transportation throughout California. You're going to get in these autonomous vehicles, and you can sleep, read.
As well as in biotech, in healthcare.
Yeah.
Any other revolutions you want to talk about?
Well, I think computing. I think computing, cloud computing, is going to change. All these data centers that people have been building are going to gradually wither away, and we're going to have a small number of these huge cloud networks. And because every other network looks like that. People don't generate their own electricity. People don't have wells for their own water. Okay, in a few cases they do, but in the most case we use the network to buy electricity, the network to buy water. We're going to use the network to buy computing and business applications and information. It's going to be on a handful of clouds, and most of the data is going to be in an Oracle database.
Larry, you're amazing. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Brianna.
The SEC issuing a $20 million fine to Tesla over Elon Musk's infamous funding secured tweet, which didn't turn out to be so true. Elon regrets. Well, he actually regrets nothing. In a series of tweets, the outspoken CEO said that the tweet he posted that led to the SEC charges against Tesla was, quote, worth it. To the panel, I just wonder if Elon's risking yet another kick from the SEC.
Yeah, he's got to be a little bit more careful. Look, I think it's painful for him because, he's has to deal with all these regulators. Now he has to deal with the shorts. None of it is fun. He is a brilliant guy. I'm going to give you that. He's had a brilliant idea, and he's had a lot of success with it thus far. But he's not exactly the managerial type, and he's not exactly the SEC type. And so he should probably be a little bit more careful on this going forward. It's kind of like someone else we know, right? You got to be a little careful with that Twitter account.
I would say he does not want to be a public company CEO. And that was kind of the direction he was going, of taking the company private. He should stay down that direction. He should not be a public company CEO. The FBI supposedly is now investigating him.
Could he get enough money, do you think, from the private equity shops and investors to still keep on his path? Or would he be seriously curtailed?
It would be fascinating whether he could gain the same multiples in a private equity transaction and the leverage.
So probably not. Probably not. Yeah, okay. Jonas, go ahead.
First of all, he got enough money to pay off this fine before he was 21 years old. Let's not forget that, before he could legally drink. Look, he's both the most brilliant CEO, but in some ways the most dangerous, because he knows it, and his ego has been magnified by the internet. He's the king of Twitter for CEOs, like Trump is for politicians. And it is both kind of funny, but also kind of scary that he doesn't understand regulations and what the SEC does. And it's great that he can make a joke of it after, but most executives would not be allowed to make jokes about the SEC coming through their office and paying fines. And it is scary. Maybe he never should have gone public, and he kind of wanted to go private, it seems like. Or maybe he was just joking to his rapper girlfriend and making weed jokes. Guys, we don't know. That's the crazy thing.
Isn't there another audience here for Elon Musk? And isn't that the general population, the people who might buy his cars? I mean, doesn't he want to turn into the guy that everybody wants to buy from and not be the guy who smokes
not necessarily.
dope?
Jerry,
on a podcast
I think
video?
He just sold,
I mean, come on.
I think he just sold more cars than all the European car companies together. And so this is part of the magic, is he creates fans who buy his cars.
Though? Is it magic when you're selling a $35,000 car, and that's what he really wants to put pedal to the metal on?
It's allegedly a $35,000 car.
Yeah, he doesn't want to just sell a high-end car. He also wants to sell to the masses.
Well,
and that might take a different approach than the one he's got right now.
Okay, so that scalability, though, would require him having a far lower price tag and actually making many more of these vehicles. So then you get back to the need for the public markets, right, Robert? Because you've got to have the scale, you've got to have the size.
Compare him to two other wonder kids, and one of them is Zuckerberg, who seems, even though he's younger than Elon Musk, he seems so much wiser in terms of how to. I know he's made a lot of mistakes, don't get me wrong, but the point is he still has a lot more maturity in dealing with the marketplace. And the other one, of course, is Jeff Bezos, who also has that kind of maturity.
Zuckerberg just hired Sheryl Sandberg, right? I mean, the Google guys went out and hired it out. I mean, maybe this is a case where, again, Elon Musk, and he's getting forced into that position now by the SEC. You got to hire out the management. Let him continue to be the wild one.
You got to go further.
But have some responsible players at the table. Go ahead,
David,
Johnson.
I think you need to go further back. I mean, the bottom line is Zuckerberg is running a software company, so you can't compare it to the cost overhead of trying to build gigafactories around the world to produce lithium batteries at a certain price point to make a $35,000 car feasible, which he hasn't done yet. But if you go back to John DeLorean, who was also a genius in his time, former executive at General Motors, his company failed because of a lack of access to public markets. Back in the early 80s, you couldn't do an IPO and raise that kind of money. That company could still exist because he had some innovation in the DeLorean. We all joke about it now. This guy, Musk, without the access to capital, is debatable if this car is going to work out because he hasn't done what Henry Ford did, which was make a car affordable and knock 90% off the price of the Dodge cars and everybody else.
This is the perfect example
and those tax
of
benefits are going away, and that's going to be a huge thing come January, February, March.
Okay, go.
This is a perfect example where the chairman and the CEO role should be split and the board needs to step in. These frivolous comments do not bode well for a public company.